Okay, so let's talk about the town. So, there are small towns and villages across the UK that often have their own pub, post offices and war memorial. There's a lot of small, quaint, beautiful, unique villages all across the UK, no matter where you are, England, Wales, Scotland. Small villages and towns, even cities to some extent. Each of them unique in their own way. And what's called character pubs. So we have a pub, which is a place to drink alcohol, eat something, rest for a while, or just general rest. But also what's called character pubs. So we have a pub and character pub. Character pub. So there's something unique about the character pub, something very outlandish or different or strange. For example, there's one character pub not far from where I live called the Crooked House, where the whole house is at an angle, sunk into the ground. So here's the ground, and the pub is like this. Something like that. Crooked House. Crooked House. Very unique. Character pub. So there's pubs, very nice. Then we have post offices, where you want to send a letter. You've got a letter or a parcel. It needs to go somewhere. To London, to Birmingham, to Paris, to Madrid, to Mexico and beyond. You need to send it in the post office. And war memorials. Now this is interesting. A war. So First World War, Second World War. Essentially, every city, every town, every village in the UK was affected by the war in some way. Different generations ago, but it's still remembered, hence the word memorial. Memory, memorial. M-E-M-O-R-Y, a memorial. Memory, memorial. So because generations ago, as little as say 2 or 3 or 4 generations ago, people went to war, and the family relatives and the community want to remember their efforts, and there's a memorial in the town, in the city, in the village. And that's quite a common thing across Europe because everyone was affected by it. So everyone remembers it in the UK. A cultural thing. A war memorial. Often just a statue. Maybe a monolith. Could simply be just a monolith like that. Or it could simply be a statue of a soldier. Or all sorts of things. But there's quite often going to be one there in the town centre. So then we have the town centre. The centre of the town, where the main transport network is, or maybe where the main shopping area is, and nearby there's going to also be a car park. Car parks also are very, very ubiquitous, very, very common and more or less everywhere. Car parks, park the car somewhere. Then we have a library. Often there's a central library. Central library. And the word there is central, meaning in the middle. We have centre, so now we have central to describe something. Central library. Then we have city centre, very similar to town centre, but the same thing, where the main commerce and transportation links are, but it's a city rather than a town. And there's village centre as well, yeah, village centre. And in the town centre and village centre there might be a pub and a post office. Again, that's where most of the commerce and transportation happens, so if you want to send something, the post office is likely going to be in the centre. Then we have the town hall. Town hall. It might not necessarily be in the town centre, but it's going to be very close, or it's going to be very grand. Like the town hall in Manchester is an old building, a couple of 100 years old. Town centre in Wolverhampton, not so old, modern one, maybe 50 or so years old, maybe 40 or so years old. In London town centre is going to be very modern, very big and grand, right in the city centre on the River Thames. Then we have museum. Museum, also you could say art gallery. Art gallery. An art gallery where paintings are stored, collected and stored. So museum, quite often there's going to be a museum in most places. It's not very common, but in most places there will be one. Just how a library, not too common, but there might be one somewhere. Like in Wolverhampton, we have an art gallery in the city centre. Do we have a museum? No. That's more of a big city kind of thing. London, yes. Birmingham? No, not explicitly. Manchester, quite possibly. Birmingham? I'm not too sure, but London, definitely. A train station. Very important for getting around the UK. Train station. You can get a train to almost anywhere in the UK, and it takes roughly the same time as driving, but a lot less effort, and probably same price if you count petrol. But a train station. Great way to get around. And again, a train station is not going to be very far from the town centre. Town or city centre. Very close. And then we have a plaza. A plaza. An open space in the shape of a square or rectangle. A plaza. There's, outside of Town Hall in Manchester, there's a plaza. Outside Town Hall and the War Memorial, I believe it is a war memorial. In Wolverhampton, there's a plaza there. Quite a common plaza, but also a plaza could be irregular shape. It could be any kind of shape. Just an open space for people to pass through, eat, stop, sell things, buy things. There might be shops around the edges. There might be maybe a road going through it. For public transport, there might be a fountain. A fountain, let's put that there. Fountain of water. Fountain, where water comes through. Fountain. Yeah. How cool is that? So we have pubs, post office, war memorial, town hall, city centre, town centre, car park, library, museum, train station, plaza. Central library, fountain, crooked house, character pub, art gallery, memory, war memorial, memory, 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 MEMORIAL. How cool is that? Let's keep going. Let's keep going, language explorers.